I'd love to know your thoughts on Josh Rosen. I wasn't that enthusiastic about him coming out of UCLA. I went to UCLA. I watched a lot of UCLA. That team stunk, and I never really thought he was that great. But the way the whole league has given up on him, I was like, wow, what is it about this kid? And do you think that's fair? Do you think there's anything there that Kyle Shanahan can work with?
I thought he would have been someone that Shanahan liked coming out that year. I liked him. It's kind of that team did stink. UCLA hasn't been good for years.
Forever.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I lived down there. I used to go to UCLA games, USC games. Notre Dame was in town. I'd go to those games. Those aren't, quarterbacks from there. I mean, who was the last good one? Maybe, honestly, Troy
Aikman. Yeah. K. McNown, no. Brett Hundley, no.
No. I mean, but I liked him. I thought he's the best quarterback they've had in a long time. I don't know what it is. I just think because he bounced around after that first year in Arizona. I mean, if you watch his first game against Seattle, he was making every throw you want to see a guy make.
Yep.
And his receiver, Larry Fitzgerald had, half of his career drops in that game, I think. So it was just absurd the amount of or where he was putting the ball in certain spots in that game. And I think he's a very good thrower. He was even doing some of that in Miami when he got into games there in 2019. I think because he's a guy who's bounced around and teams have taken him that ended up moving on to a different quarterback because they could, and he was a casualty. So
there's a stigma around him.
Yeah, he's never going to be a guy that I think sticks long term like he probably could have.
Just because So once three teams give up on you, the rest of the league's like, oh, something's wrong with you. I don't know what it is, but something's wrong with you.
I haven't heard anything, but
three organizations took a real good look and they were like, no thanks.
He was very professional about everything, surrounding his circumstances, leaving Arizona and Miami and all that. I don't know. It's really weird. I haven't heard anything through anyone specifically, but
me neither. I'm genuinely excited to watch him in training camp. I hope he gets a few reps with the first team, although I know it's not going to happen.
Anyway. I mean, he honestly probably should be the backup.
I think
he have no problem with that. I think
I agree.
Yeah, I think he's a guy that could actually end up being a decent starter at some point. With some stability.
Yeah, on this team with some playmakers around him and a good coach. Honestly, if Jimmy Garoppolo is the starter and Rosen was the backup, and Jimmy Garoppolo happens to miss a few games during the season, I don't know why he would, but if he does. And Rosen came in and played well for a game or two, totally flipped the narrative around him. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched a lot of Jimmy. Physically, Josh can do all that stuff. I don't know where his head's at and how dedicated he is to the game, but I don't know where Jimmy's head's at either. So I'd like to see a competition. Come on, Kyle.